fans before you head out in the parade?
It's awesome. This is just great seeing everybody down here. The whole North America's watching our city and see how we respond, and I think they're going to be impressed how the city's handled it.
Did you ever think this day would come? I mean, how do you feel this morning? What was it like waking up knowing you're going to come down to about 600,000 fans?
Well, considering I haven't slept much, I had a tough time getting up this morning, but you look forward to being on the ice for when the Stanley Cup was presented, and you look forward to the parade, so I'm really excited about it all.
And that's what it's all about. The Red Wings are such great guys, and even as tired as they were this morning, they took time to talk to us. Can we get a go, Red Wings, guys? Yeah! Okay, my colleague Don Shane is further south on Woodward. Take it away, Donnie. What's happening down there?
All right, Teresa, thank you very much. We're between Cadillac and Kennedy. Look behind me here up Woodward. Is this unbelievable, the crowds on both sides? Look at these people here. They've been chanting all morning, and it's deafening. We've even got some people up on the statues over there up on top. Little babies, look at this. Look at this little guy. Look at this little guy right here, huh? More fans than you can imagine. Now, wait a second. I want to show you something else. Straight across the street, there are people up there in the windows of these office buildings checking it out, coming down Woodward. I mean, it's crazy, the chants that are going on at Go Wings and all this other stuff, and sweep, 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 and all this other stuff. Let's go across the street here. I want to talk to some of these people, huh? Look. Is that your favorite guy, Sergey, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty. You skipped school to be here today?
No.
You're off of school?
Yeah.
That's all right, huh? What are you guys thinking, huh? What do you think of this parade here today, huh?
It's good.
It's great? Yeah. How about you guys? Yeah. Who's your favorite wing? Let's talk about favorite wings. Favorite wing. Fedorov. Vernon.
Mike.
Who?
Mike.
Oh, Mike Vernon. Who's your favorite wing?
Iserman.
There's a great captain, huh?
McCarty.
Oh, you're dressed right, aren't you?
McCarty all the way.
McCarty all the way.
Shake hand.
Look at this. You can shake my hand. That's not a problem. They got the Iserman stuff. They got the Fedorov stuff. They got the posters. They got the banners. This is a great place to be, and they'll be coming right down here, headed down that way to Hart Plaza. The fans are going absolutely nuts. They're enjoying themselves, and everything's been peaceful and terrific.
And this is the most people I've ever seen downtown, and I really would also put that into the bag here of saying that it may be even more people than we sometimes see for the fireworks, believe it or not. Now, we had talked to the Detroit Police helicopter when he was flying a little while ago, and they were doing crowd estimates, and they're guessing 750,000 people, and that was still when you saw people stuck on the freeway. In fact, you can look at the Fisher Freeway outside of the Fox Theater down here as you look at the Fox Theater and the staging area for the parade, and you can see bumper-to-bumper travel still back to the lodge. The inbound Jeffries Freeway is backed up trying to get onto the lodge, and the Fisher Freeway as well still to get into the downtown area. Michigan Avenue, Grand River, Gratiot, all the north-south side roads are still busy with cars to give you an idea that there are still people trying to come here. And if you don't mind, if you follow with us here, we'll look at Stanley and follow the Woodward Avenue, and let's tilt the camera up, and you can see down from this point all the way down into Hart Plaza to see the huge crowd that's waiting at Hart Plaza. And I would think the people that are here along Woodward Avenue are going to follow the parade to get into the downtown area as well. And look at the fireboat down there with its water going as well. What a beautiful sight it is. Live from News Chopper 7 over Hockeytown, Dennis Dubacher reporting now to my colleague Bill Proctor somewhere in the crowd.
Here we go.
That's really good. Plus, there's a lot of activity happening out here right now. We can hear some of the bands and some of the mounted police patrols starting to gear up and get ready for the parade.
It looks like the state police are going to kick things off. They've got their motorcycle patrol lined up over here. Nice, shiny bikes all ready to go. The mounted officers are down just behind them a little bit. I can see the Stanley float down there.
Yep.
Our good old friend Stanley from the
This
GLA.
crowd is so ready for this. As a matter of fact, you know, from our vantage point, as we mentioned, we can see the Red Wings having lunch at Second City, so they've got their eye peeled on them. And the minute they get up and start coming out that door, this place is going to go crazy.
Now, 35 to 40 floats going from here at the Fox Theater down south to Hart Plaza. Let's get a look at the route now from Dennis Dubacher. He's up at News Chopper 7. Dennis, why don't you scan that route for us and give us an idea how the crowd's lined up.
All right, I tell you, Frank, here we go. Here's the Fox Theater, where the beginning of the parade will be here in just a few minutes. You can see the staging area just a little north of the Fox Theater, where the roadway is completely closed. All the police are in place. The cars are coming out of the tall parking structure there behind the Fox Theater. They'll be lined up behind the floats as they head down farther along Woodward Avenue. So why don't you stay with us now in News Chopper 7 as we do make the turn along southbound Woodward Avenue. And look at how many people deep it is here along Woodward Avenue, all the way down from this point, from the Fox Theater, right on down to Hart Plaza. It is probably 5, 6, 7, maybe more deep, in some places deeper. And I would think we'd see all of this traffic down here and all of these people that are on Woodward Avenue that are going to kind of follow the parade all the way down to Hart Plaza. And look at it, as we get closer and closer to Hart Plaza, how many people are down here. Tremendous amount of crowd here along Jefferson Avenue at Hart Plaza, and it looks red and white from as far as we can see in every place we can see. And you believe it or not, there is still traffic on many area of roads, freeways, still trying to find a parking space, still trying to get to Hart Plaza and to the spirit of Detroit. Live from News Chopper 7 over Hockeytown, Dennis Dubacher reporting. Where are you, Don?
I'm down here right between Cadillac Square and Kennedy Square. The policemen, the Detroit police, are getting involved in the celebration. Look at this. This is great. Look. How about this, huh? Lindros on a sweepstick, huh? Lindros on a stick. How can you hate this? How can you hate this, huh? Is this yours? This is clever. See, this is clever. How'd you think of that now?
Hey, just thought of it one day after the last game. Just put it together real quick.
Decided to go with the Lindros thing and make fun of him rather than the Red Wings theme, huh?
Actually, it was my brother's idea. I can't lie. So
yeah.
It's sweet, man. You know it.
Lindros' body on a stick.
Nothing like it.
They couldn't be having more fun right here. Some of the gimmicks and some of the stuff is great. Let's go to Frank and Robbie.
You know, we've got a couple of things here that we want to show you. First of all, together with Channel 7 Meteor Photo and Imaging, made this beautiful picture of Stevie holding the cup up there. And we've had fans down here along the parade route signing it, putting their names, their messages, good wishes, congratulations, you name it on here. Actually, it moves my heart. I can't imagine if I was a Red Wing. So we're going to present this to them, and that'll be kind of a keepsake from all the folks in Detroit to those wings that we love. And there's a lot of vendors down here, too.
They've also commented about it, how nice it was that they feel they personally can tell them that they give them best wishes and congratulations and thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, there are a lot of vendors down here. They're selling these, and they're selling T-shirts. Not enough hot dog vendors, unfortunately, for Frank.
Yes, that's true. But you can't beat the weather down here. Let's see if it's going to stay this way. Chad, what can you give us in terms of a parade forecast?
Frank, it's going to be awesome down there. It looks like as soon as the hockey season got over, summer started. It was almost immediate.
While we've been celebrating and having a good time, they had one heck of a tough series. I mean, it was a sweep for sure, but they played really hard and really well, and probably haven't slept most of the time that was going on because of their nerves and everything, and haven't slept since because just celebrating and having a good time.
Well, the adrenaline has to be going so much, and at their big celebration last night at the Joe Louis Arena, where ticket holders were invited, each one of them were talking about how exhausted they felt, and yet they also felt energized because they just couldn't let go of the feeling and didn't want to let go of the feeling of the excitement.
When you come out here and you find just hundreds of thousands of wonderful fans who supported them in good times and bad, always hoping to see this day and finally getting it, and really just showing their hearts and coming out here and screaming and yelling and cheering. I guess that'll take the place of adrenaline if you start getting tired.
You know, and I'll tell you another thing that was really warming to a player. Everyone thanked the fans for hanging in there with them and for their support. And they were really saying that the fans are the ones who kind of pushed them over. Because let's face it, I mean, as far as the regular season this year, wasn't as good as the year before. And yet the fans were there. And I think it was Yzerman who said, of course, he's been with the team since he was 18 years old, so he's been here forever. But he, you know, he said that he would see the same people year after year, and those fans just stayed with them and stayed with them. So to a one, every Red Wing fan, Red Wing player thanked the fans, and these fans love it.
Absolutely. You know, when Stevie was skating around the ice with the cup, and there was that deafening roar
Right.
inside the jaw. I couldn't help but think, you know, if that's touching me, if I'm getting a swell from that
Right.
roar, imagine how that must feel when thousands of people are cheering your name and you can feel the vibrations, you know, going right through you. That's got to be a wonderful moment.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that they're getting a chance to feel
You
that.
know, the other thing that was interesting is that apparently, and it's something I didn't catch until it was mentioned later, apparently Steve Eiserman tried to get the cup to the entire team, and the entire team, no, you go, you take the single skater round. You know, so he did. And it also apparently, you know, there were so many things on the ice that he was a little bit afraid of. Please don't let me fall now.
Well, I think that cup has probably been dropped a few times, and I'd venture to say one or two people have fallen with it.
You know, as a matter of fact, there's a great story about the cup. If you notice, it has a pretty big dent in it. And, you know, the players get to take it home with them, and they get to take it in a car. But there was one year when the cup was in the back of a car, and a couple of players are driving someplace, and they had a flat tire. So they take the cup out, and they fix the tire. They drive off without the cup. And then they get to their destination, and then they have to remember, oh, yeah, the cup. So they have to go back and get
that cup's been around, what, 104 years, I think? Amazing.
It survived a lot,
that
hasn't
long.
it?
We're starting to get underway here. You'll notice the mounted patrol coming through.
And
Those
don't
are
they
some-
look elegant?
They really do. Those are some beautifully well-groomed horses, aren't they?
It amazes me how well behaved they are, especially with a crowd like this.
Of course, the real tough job is that crew that has to follow behind the horses.
That's a scooper patrol.
I hope they're at least well paid.
And let's check in with Teresa Tamio, who's down in the street. Teresa?
I'm here, Robbie, if you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. It's so loud out here. This is so cool. We are looking west on Woodward Avenue, and the Mounted Division of the Detroit Police Department is on its way down right toward us. We've got a great crowd here behind us. Hi, guys. Go Wigs. Yeah. I just saw the neatest thing. I saw one of the Detroit police officers on a motorcycle. He had signs in front of the motorcycle. He had flags on the back. Everybody is into this. The confetti is already starting to fly. We've got people all the way up in the Palms building above the State Theater. They've got a broom. I mean, it's incredible stuff. We've got all kinds of signs. One sign that says 42, no longer blue. It's a beautiful scene down here in Metro Detroit. What a perfect, perfect day. Go Wings. Back to you guys.
I don't know.
I can hear.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I guess they're coming back to us, Diana. We're sitting here down at Hart Plaza where they are still dancing in the streets. We should also tell you that the Detroit River has been a place where people have been standing by watching this celebration. We've got the Windsor police boat over here.
And the freighters going by honk, honk,
Honking their horns. Now, I don't know what the Windsor police, what business they think they're going to be doing over here, but obviously they want to be part of the celebration as well and watch what's happening down here. We have absolutely no idea how many people we've got down here. About 200,000 at minimum.
Wall to wall.
They're a little impatient. They want this parade to get down to them, but
they're sweeping.
That's right. They've waited 42 years for this moment. Yeah. And they can be patient and wait a little longer. We should tell you, by the way, that there have been a lot of crafty fans down here that have made up some cute souvenirs. We've got the wing nuts in Red Wing Red. Brass for formal occasions, I'm sure.
My colleague, John Kleekamp. Look, I'm wearing the cup earrings. They are fantastic.
And we've got our brooms ready. We understand they work well in Detroit. They work even better in Philly. But there are a lot of crafty fans out there that have done some very...
They are waiting for this parade today. They are happy. They're joyous. The kids are not tired. And you would think they would just die down a little. No, no, no. Yay, yay, yay. Red Wings song after song, and it's just wonderful. From our vantage point, it's fantastic.
So, Frank and Robbie, get it started.
Well, we're starting right now. That joyous noise you hear is coming from the Cass Technical High School Marching Band. Don't they look and sound sharp?
I tell you, they haven't let up this entire morning. I don't know what time they got here, but I think they've been playing nonstop since about 9 o'clock this morning, just entertaining the crowd. So they are in fine form. The Cass Tech High School Band. We can listen for a minute.
What do you think about that, huh?
because, as he was saying, you know, this is national, and how the fans reacted after the celebration really was very, very important.
Really has
to
to
our
be
image.
very proud of this city and very proud of improving our image. And very responsible in a large part for helping to bring people together and making them feel better about the city. I tell you what, though, winning that Stanley Cup Saturday night when I was down at the Spirit of Detroit, the exuberance down there was just overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen pictures of Mardi Gras that we have on the show every year, but it was like that kind of festive atmosphere, but even more joyous. I mean, complete strangers were hugging and crying and celebrating together, and it was just a fabulous feeling, and I think that really is carrying through today, and I think it's going to last for a long time.
I think so, too. And coming down next on the parade route, a very familiar object, you might say.
Now, I'll bet you don't know why the octopus is such a big symbol in hockey. Got any idea?
Well, I do know that it's been around for a long time, and I know that people try to sneak in the octopus and throw it on the ice, which thank goodness they didn't do this year because, you know, they would have gotten some penalties and stuff like that. But do you know why?
Because you used to have to only win 8 games to get to the Stanley Cup. Back in the old days.
When they played at the old Olympia.
Yes. And so thus the 8 legs.
Okay, let's check out with Teresa. Teresa?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, Mrs. Archer, we just want to say, first of all, congratulations. You did a great job, and this is incredible, isn't it? Your thoughts this morning when you woke up and you saw all the fans down here.
I'm just very proud of our city. I'm very proud of the Red Wings, and I'm very proud of how the fans have just reacted in a very positive way. We're very fortunate, and I think we're showing the world that the city of Detroit's a great place to come for a convention, for sports, for whatever it is. We're here. Come on and do it.
What time did you get down here? And you said there were some people down here early this morning by 2:30?
I had a 7:30 meeting this morning with members of my staff, and then I had to give a commencement address to Southeastern High School at Cobo Hall. Then I went out and crashed it, and so I've been back. It's packed all over the place.
What kind of feedback have you been getting, Mr. Mayor, from around the country, from other people about the city of Detroit?
Everybody's real positive about the city of Detroit. The way the fans reacted on the night of the win, it's been a resounding success.
Okay, give us a Go Wings one more time, Mr. Mayor. Come on.
Go Red Wings, #1.
Thank you. Thank you. Mayor Archer, of course, and First Lady Justice Trudy Archer from 36th District Court. As you can see, everybody is having a great time down here. Mayor Archer saying that he saw some people here as early as 7:30 this morning. We talked to some folks, Robbie, Frank, and Guy and Deanna, that got here as early as 5:30. Kurt was talking to people in Hart Plaza earlier this morning. This is just an incredible scene down here. I just can't describe it. I've never seen so much red and white. And here comes Stanley, our favorite person, Stanley. He's got his little crown on. Unbelievable sight down here. Of course, this is the octopus that they raised at the games at Joe Louis Arena, and now he's making a personal one-on-one appearance along Woodward Avenue in downtown Detroit for all the fans, and everybody is just thrilled to see him. They've got signs that say, "Welcome, Stanley. We love Stanley." One of my favorite signs is 42, no longer blue. Congratulations, Red Wings. Unbelievable. We've already got people hanging out of the buildings. We've got people hanging out of the Fox Theater windows. We've got signs up. It says, "Go Wings." This is an incredible scene. We're going to let you take in this moment for a second. This is history, ladies and gentlemen, here in downtown Detroit. Frank and Robbie, back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Well, now we know why Stanley's smiling all the time. He's covered in rockets and flying just from New York City just for this. That's got to be one happy octopus right now.
Yeah, the Rockettes are wondering, why are we riding on an octopus?
Just to be part of the celebration.
Absolutely. I'm sure they got into the swing of things very, very fast. Yeah, that was really great to see. And so they call him Stanley.
Yes,
we were discussing that earlier.
I thought that was his name. But the 8 legs of the octopus, of course, were the 8 games that you needed to win the cup. Of course, things are a lot tougher now.
Yeah, because
a lot more teams. Well, a lot more teams in the league. I think there were only 6 or 8 teams back then.
6 teams.
6 teams back then.
Yeah.
We have our consultant, our creative consultant, and technical consultant standing right by you, Jim Pratt. Good to have him around sometimes, I'll tell you.
Well, actually, you know, when we both started here in Detroit, the Wings used to play at the Olympia Stadium. So, I mean, it hasn't been that long ago, actually, that they moved from Olympia to Joe Louis Arena. So.
Looks like we got another marching band from Taylor coming into view right now.
And boy, are they all decked out in their Red Wing Stanley Cup shirts. I love these shirts because they have the faces of all the players on them.
here's what you've really been waiting for.
This crowd, get ready because you won't be able to hear anything.
I'm afraid to tell them who's coming.
After this band goes by. Here they go. You can starting to feel it build.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Steve Yzerman stand-in.
Jersey. The guy who sings the national anthem. The woman who sings the national anthem. And the guy in the Yzerman jersey. Almost had these guys fooled, but not quite.
I think that's like a test run, you know. Yeah. Let's run the jersey down first and see what happens, and then we'll see about Stevie coming down a bit later. Now, that looks like a huge semi-truck that's about to head down here next. I wonder if that would happen to be the cup on that float. What do you think, Robbie?
I'm trying to read the sign that's in front of the truck, which I can't quite make
It's
out.
in psychedelic colors. With the sun shining on it, I can't see it too well. But that is a big flatbed that's being pulled by that truck cab, and I wonder if that's going to be the cup coming down here this soon. This is great because we're right here at the start of the parade route, so we get the first crack at everything that comes by.
I tell you, they're jamming on that flatbed truck.
Okay, well, if you think the sign is psychedelic, then wait till you see what's riding behind it. Okay, we've got a little music to head things off here from a different kind of band.
Yeah. Oh, they're getting this crowd going.
Yeah. These guys are too cool
Singing
to march.
Celebration.
Well, Guy brought up dancing in the street. I guess it's time now.
And this crowd is getting into it. Everybody's singing along with the band.
This crowd was into it before we showed up. They're ready for everything.
Come on, you know the words. You can sing it a little bit.
Oh, yes. You know, I made a public pledge never to sing because I was forced to.
Well, if you're at home, you can sing along and tap your feet.
That's literally rock and roll.
I know, I love that.
You might see a little bit of everything down here today, and I think we will.
We just saw the beer sponsor go by as well.
A little free advertising, you know.
Take advantage of every moment.
Another Mustang convertible is headed this way.
Oh.
Probably McNamara.
Wayne County Executive Ed McNamara, I would think, is coming down here now.
I love it. He's the one who said, you know, I want the Stanley Cup on the Wayne County building. So we built this 2,500-pound Stanley Cup on top of the Wayne County building.
And you really think all the work that's gone into this, building that cup, putting this whole parade together, building the floats, getting things organized, and all since the wee hours of Sunday morning. People have been working
like
around the clock.
Hours or
yes. Just shows you how you can really pull together if you need to.
It is really, really nice so that they had this big celebration for the fans and for everybody to come down here. And you can just feel, I mean, when talking to the fans, they really feel a part of this as well.
And the enthusiasm that's gone into everything. Yeah. I mean, this hasn't been a chore for anybody.
No.
Believe it or not. A lot of baggy eyes and yawning folks around here, but they're still excited just to be a part of it. Channel 7 Streets at Tomeo, right down the street from us. What's going on down there, T?
Hi, we were having a great time. We were right in front of the Fox Theater. We're going to talk to some folks. You guys got here, what, about 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning?
Yeah.
Why did you decide to come down here? I mean, what does this mean to you as a Red Wings fan?
Oh, I love it. Come on now. It's the best.
Is there anyone in particular you really want to see, you really want to wave to and say thanks?
Sergei Fedorov. He's the greatest.
How about you?
Steve Yzerman. He's the captain, boy. He's the one who's been for all this time.
How long have you been a fan?
15 years, ever since I was a young boy.
What was your favorite moment during the championship game?
McCarty's goal, that last goal with Philadelphia, him swinging around. I think Sergei taught him that one.
That little dance was fantastic, wasn't it?
It was the best.
Okay.
It was the highlight.
Frank and Robbie, we're going to go back to you as we wait for the Red Wings to come down the street. Take it away, guys.
You having a good time? They're having a good time.
They're having a good time. Thanks, Teresa. Things are just really getting started here. You have
bring the parade to a screeching halt because Chuck wants to talk to Dennis Archer.
Mr. Mayor, good to see you.
Hey,
Archer, nice to see
thanks
you.
for the weather.
Isn't
I
it?
appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You know, I see every year I see the both of you on this almost this exact spot at Thanksgiving, but this is special, isn't it?
I haven't seen so many. This is just outstanding. Hart Plaza, I understand, just fully loaded. We got great fans in this city.
Oh, no question. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I just got a bug off.
Thank you. Back to you, Devin Carver.
Nice work, Chuck. They can get the parade going again now that Chuck is done. That's great.
Now, I don't know if
Chuck has got clout.
Chuck, but we do want to thank him for the weather. It's just beautiful here. Another sponsor of the Victory Parade today, Kroger's. Featured very prominently here.
How did we do on cable for that one?
Did fine.
And we've got something. Is that a Zamboni? No.
We will see a Zamboni or two, I do believe today. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Is the Philly Zamboni coming, the one that drove to Philly?
Well, we've got the Red Wings alumni, Bud Lynch and Paul Woods. Fred, are you near there?
Fred's up there. There he is. Look at Fred Newman.
Fred, can you hear us?
How did he get up there?
Brad.
Eddie Mio, we with me? All right, the Red Wing alumni. Eddie Mio, Johnny Wilson, Gary Bergman, Dennis Hextall. Johnny, what is this? Night like 55, is it?
Well, we didn't have a parade like this. This is unbelievable. I've never seen so many people. It's fabulous. The players deserve it. They've done a great job. And the fans are out here acknowledging their efforts. That's fantastic.
Gary, you didn't get a parade like this at all, but you're getting to experience it now, aren't you, pal?
Hey, this is fantastic. The people deserve it.
Well, number 2, here's Eddie Mio, the quiet goaltender. Was Mike Vernon something else in this or what, goalie?
He's awesome. He's kept us, he's brought us above the level. It's now the goaltenders that's the main guy.
Dennis Hextall had to persevere on some bad Red Wing teams. He was a gritty player, much like a Martin Lapointe or a Joey Koser or a Darren McCarty. What's this feel like for you, Dennis?
I think it's great. And what the city's doing here, it just shows appreciation for the great team. And what an effort this year for everybody, all the players and the city.
Thank you. Enjoy this, guys. I don't mean to ignore the rest of you. Thanks for joining us. Some former Red Wings. Let's throw it back to you guys, okay? I got to get off this float.
I'm telling you, Fred and Chuck have carte blanche. I'm taking those guys with me everywhere I go.
I haven't heard so much enthusiasm in their voices in such a long time, but Bruce, you've got to remember some of those guys.
Yes, I can remember. First of all, Dennis Hextall was very, very mixed emotions in this. He's very close family, the Hextall family, and of course, that was his nephew who was victimized more than one time, Ron Hextall. Secondly, Gary Bergman, in my second year in the National Hockey League, the Red Wings, and it's a well-known story, went into the Montreal Forum in the finals, beat the Canadiens twice right there, came back into Detroit, and actually lost the next 4 games, and the deciding goal in overtime, and I was doing the game, was Gary Bergman made a heck of a check on Henri Richard, and Richard had the puck tucked under his elbow, slid in past Roger Crozier. They counted the goal, gave Montreal the series, and Udvari, the referee, just absolutely disappeared. I mean, nobody to argue with. So it was all over, and Gary
for a lot of fans. I know a lot of people remember that, yeah.
Well, if they were looking for a ticker tape, they got it today. I think I saw a few of, not a few, I saw quite a bit of it floating down onto Woodward Avenue here in downtown Detroit. Now, Bernie is pointing to the screen, and this is the Crestwood High School band, Bernie.
There you go. Good job.
From Dearborn Heights.
And you're right. What a thrill for these kids to be involved in something like this.
This will be something they'll tell their kids.
Yeah, lifetime memory.
Being here and being off of school. It's like 2 in 1.
Might be a thrill for them, but I'm telling you who are the most thrilled of all are be the cars behind them.
Oh, yeah.
these kids that have played for the Red Wings, they've got to be absolutely nonplussed.
Well, and for the alumni, too, because, you know, hockey is a sport where the tie with the old-timers does seem a little more, almost like baseball. You know, there's such a great, once a Red Wing, always a Red Wing.
Well, the Red Wings have their relatives have given them their own alumni room at the Joe Louis Arena. It's a very close-knit organization. The wives take advantage of it. It's just, in other words, you just don't retire and leave the Red Wings. You are still a part. I don't care where you are or what you're doing. There's something about this organization that's been that way through the years.
Well, and you fall into that category, too. I know you felt as still a part of this team, even though you've been off the air for 2 years.
Oh, I really feel that way because you walk into the dressing room, you haven't been there for 2 years, and on top of that, I took my hair off when I finished the last game. And they still recognize me.
Right, right.
Well, we're looking at...
Stanley.
Is that Stanley?
The Octopus is back, just about to head into Hart Plaza, and I think...
His name is Al, Bernie.
That's his brother, Stanley.
That's his brother, Stanley? They're getting close. I don't know, you know they're meeting enthusiastic crowds along the way, but wait till they get here to Hart Plaza.
Do you think all our viewers know the reason for the octopus and the significance and the symbolism behind it?
Probably worth explaining.
I told you there would be a Zamboni in this parade.
Second happiest guy was Larry Murphy, and the third happiest guy was Al Sabatka. How you doing, Al?
You bet you I was the third guy, or whatever, was close tie with Stevie, you know?
We know what you meant. You're not having any fun, are you?
Probably gone somewhere. There he is. And of course, that's a sign for lifting the Stanley Cup. Everybody's into that. So, so if you see people doing that, they're not doing aerobic exercises. They're lifting the Stanley Cup.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a real treat for you now. We present the briefcase drill team.
With brooms.
They're a serious-looking bunch, aren't they?
Nice of them to have the red light on, too. From Plymouth, Michigan.
I think there's probably going to be a second parade because at the end of this one, I can see most of this crowd following them down.
I think so too.
To Hart Plaza, where we've heard an estimate of 750,000 people down there already. Just imagine when this group joins them.
And when you add 750,000, and we really have no estimate of how many are up and down Woodward, but I would just throw out 2 million people. I mean, really.
I think easily, because if you, as far as the eye can see, there's at least a block deep group of red going all the way down on both sides. Scotty Bowman is coming down here with the comedy troupe from the Second City.
Oh yeah, he's going to get a big round of applause.
They're chanting his name.
He says he will be with the Red Wing organization, but has left it a little vague as to what capacity.
Well, I'll tell you, that would break a lot of fans' hearts if he wasn't going to coach that team, because they've really come to love this man in the time that he's been in Detroit. And what a wonderful job he's done with the team. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's brought in some very key players and actually made the whole thing click. He, as far as his background, he has won, I think, 7 Stanley Cups. With 3 different teams, as far as I believe, is the only coach from the city. These guys would love him to stay as coach.
See, they're begging him. They just want one more year. One more year. One more year. One more year. One more year.
He says he'll make up his mind in about a week or 2 weeks. He needs some time to kind of digest everything and also to just kind of also enjoy the win and
Well, certainly if the fans out here could make up his mind for him, there'd be no discussion. He'd definitely be in.
Don't you have to wonder if that might play a little bit as far as swinging his decision? Because he knows he has the fan support. He obviously has the organization support.
Absolutely.
It's just whether or not, he has other things on his agenda that, maybe he wants to step down and work with the Wings in another capacity.
And what a great position to be in, and a tribute to his expertise as a coach. That not only can he come in and just get results almost immediately, but to have this kind of admiration and loyalty from the fans and the players and everything, pulling it all together, it's not just a name. He's got to be a true great hockey coach.
Again, I have to refer to the celebration last night at Joe Louis Arena in that, he was booed in some of the games, and Steve Yzerman had said, let's turn that around. Let's give him the standing ovation that he deserves, and of course they did.
Absolutely.
Scotty, can we ask you a quick question? Channel 7, how does it feel? How does it feel this morning?
Well, so many people that I don't even think we expected this much.
What did you think when you got off that bus and you hear the cheers and you saw hundreds of thousands in red and white?
Well, we knew there'd be a lot of people, but I don't know how many we're going to see at the Hart Plaza, but we're looking forward to it.
How's everybody handling this? I mean, the guys have been real gracious. They've been talking to everybody. What have they been telling you about how they feel today?
They look forward to this rather than trying to play tonight if it would have been a fifth game.
How do you feel? Are you tired? I mean, there was some pretty rough nights, especially during the Colorado series.
Nah, you don't get tired this time. It's a lot of fun.
Anything you want to say to the fans, Scotty? You're on live TV right now.
They were a big part of this, and we felt it all the way along that as we, got better and better in the series, the fans were right there. I've never seen fans in a building like Saturday night.
Okay, Scotty, thanks and congratulations. Of course, Red Wings coach Scotty Bowman talking to us, telling that he was so surprised that he saw so many people. He expected a lot, but of course he didn't expect this many. And earlier this morning we talked to a couple of the other players. Yzerman telling us how overwhelmed he was with the crowd. And what happened, they brought them into Rosado Restaurant for a private breakfast, and they all talked to us. They're all so grateful. That's what's so nice about these guys. They're so gracious, and they appreciate the fans so much. And we certainly appreciate them. Back to you, Frank and Robin.
Mumford High School.
The Mumford High School Marching Band is up next. And it's kind of surprising that the players and the coaches are so surprised at this overwhelming show of support. And these fans, they can't think of anything better than coming out here. I mean, there are people missing work, school, you name it today, because they would like to dedicate this day to the Red Wings.
Well, they want to be a part of the celebration.
Absolutely.
And this is the best way to do it.
But that just goes to show you that the players don't take the fans for granted,
They don't.
These fans have stuck with them through thick and thin, and these are pretty thick right now.
But I tell you, these bands are great, aren't they? They get the crowd pumped up even if they don't need it.
Well, I mean, to a guy who can barely walk and chew gum, to march in formation and play instruments, it's amazing to me.
Yeah, they're loving this. It's great that they can all be a part of it. Also, Jimmy DeVilano just went by in one of the cars and received a lot of interest.
All right, now we've got kind of a big lineup of convertibles here on the way down. They're building this slowly. Of course, the crowd out here growing in anticipation, waiting for their players to start coming down the street.
Assistant coach Barry Smith. Also giving that Stanley Cup signal.
We're going to take this opportunity to take a quick break, folks, and we'll be back in just a moment with more of the big celebration in Hockeytown. Don't miss a minute. Stay tuned.
Y'all ready for this?
I'm sorry. That's a 90s version.
Yeah, keep us PC here, Bruce, if you would.
And it looks like a few of their family members got a chance to join them as well.
Should we remind everyone 8 o'clock tonight, our big wrap-up also on the season and everything else? And It'll be a great night tonight, too. 8 o'clock here on Channel 4. There's Mary Emma Havley.
President of Detroit City Council.
Look at her. Having a ball.
Let me tell you, who doesn't love a parade, right? On a beautiful day like this in downtown Detroit.
Politicians. They love parades.
Look at that sight.
Nice view from Chopper 4 down Woodward Avenue.
You know, you were talking about Scotty Bowman a moment ago, Bernie. Here's a guy that plays mind games. Oh. You know that. And I really don't think he was bothered as much by all that criticism. He goes through it, and he kind of laughs at it. I don't know that he enjoys it, but it really doesn't hurt him that much.
It is funny, though, when so many critics decide that they know a little bit more than the guy who's been the greatest coach in the history of the NHL.
Well, you know, we just caught a glimpse of the team's doctors there.
Right. Yep. Dr. David Collin is one of them, I know. I saw him the other night.
Jack Finley.
Yeah.
I think the Scouts are coming up, too, next. I'm sorry.
I was just going to go back, if I had a second, just to give you an illustration of Scotty. Out on the West Coast a couple years ago, they were getting whacked in the playoffs. Scotty was getting criticized. There was a big pile of people at the noon skate outside the door. The trainer came out, got me, brought me into the dressing room through all the media people. I got in there, and Scotty says, "How's everything up north?" He says, "I got all those people out there. I don't want to talk to them right now."
I don't blame them.
Yep.
You know what's funny about coaches when they got to talk to the media? What do you say an hour late? I mean, that's unbelievable. Is that Mark Howe?
I believe we got Mark Howe on that. We saw that. There we go. There we go. Can't talk about Detroit hockey without talking about the Howe family.
That's right.
And Bruce, you're really close to Scotty Bowman. What would be your guess on whether or not he'll be back next year?
You know, I have a feeling that things are going to have to be worked out a little bit between he and some of the head office there. But I can't help but think they will be. I think he'll be back in some capacity. Whether it's a coach or not, I don't know.
But to be a part of the organization.
Well, Bruce,
at the
if
very
you
least,
take a look at this, they only bring this out for special occasions, and this certainly is one. The players are making their way up Woodward Avenue. Right now, they're turning onto the parade route. We've got Mike Vernon, who is this year's Conn Smythe winner, Bernie.
He is most valuable player in the playoffs. And I don't think anyone could have. They couldn't have made another choice. The sentimental choice would have been Yzerman, obviously. Nicholas Lidstrom had a great series too. There were a couple of, but Vernon. Once you get that hot goalie, I mean, it's.
And what a shock that was to see him even start.
Yeah. Isn't that unbelievable, right?
Won more games in the playoffs than he did during the regular season.
And you look at how that was handled as opposed to how the Phillies situation.
Got the heat up here, folks.
Here, it says, thank you, Detroit. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful, and it's been a great experience. And look at it's amazing, all the fans here. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to lose you. Thanks, Mike. We're out of court. Back to you guys.
Back here at the... He sounds like he's kind of hoarse there. I think he's been yelling a lot, I think.
You know, as far as Mike Vernon, of course, he won that trophy for MVP. You know, and I didn't realize that was a very, very close vote that apparently was close with Yzerman as well. So.
And this isn't his first cup, is it?
No.
Vernon's first cup?
He won the Conn Smythe. He's riding with his...
Wow, that's quite a trophy, too, isn't it?
And the crowd really showing their appreciation to Mike Vernon.
That is quite a trophy he's got there. Of course, the crowd just loving it.
He was so pleased, you know, to win that trophy as well, because actually during the regular season he wasn't the regular goalie during the regular season. Chris Osgood actually
well, it was kind of
ice time
and a lot of time that was up in the air, you know, who was the regular goalie. I think kind of went back and forth from time to time.
But boy, did he have some tremendous saves.
And you know, that fooled a lot of the teams too that we ended up meeting in the playoffs, because we didn't seem to have a real stable goalie situation. I think they may have felt that we didn't have complete faith in either Ozzy or Mike. And for Vernon to get in there and just be so fabulous throughout the entire playoffs, I think that shocked a lot of teams that fell by the wayside along the way.
So whatever worked, we're glad it worked.
Absolutely.
This is the Henry Ford High School Band right now we're listening to.
They're a pretty sharp bunch, too. Now you can hear a roar starting to build down the block. There's a player coming down here that I think we're going to have to cover our ears for.
You might say he's very popular. However, you might not exactly recognize him because during the playoffs, you know, he had a little mustache, a little goatee.
That's gone
shaved it
now.
all off. So
I think they'll recognize him. You know, this guy came to the team and started making an impact immediately.
Right.
Scoring, knocking people out of the way, you know, policing the ice when he had to, getting in there and making the big plays. And I think there's really a big reason why the Wings have been so successful.
He certainly brought a lot of excitement to the team, that's for sure. And I think he came to the team in the fall. You know, so he hasn't been a long-time player with the team, but played the entire season with them.
Of course, we're talking about number 14. That would be Brendan Shanahan.
He came from Hartford. Apparently, you know, when Hartford was going to go someplace else, he says, I don't want to do this, you got to trade me. And I want to be traded.
Well, he's ours now.
He's ours, we're going to keep him.
We're keeping him. Listen to the reception he's getting, folks.
A lot of speculation who the girl is.
Well, I wonder because, you know, I had heard that he was one of the most eligible bachelors in the NHL. Could that be over?
What a great day for Brendan Shanahan. You know, and actually, you know, he says that his wish came true. He wanted out of Hartford. He wanted to go to a contender. And boy, did he go to a contender.
And joined a club, too, that you can really be a part of. I mean, there's a real bond between the Red Wing players. I mean, they're more than just a hockey club. I think these guys really have a lot of respect for each other, a lot of deep feeling for each other, and a lot of respect for each other's talents.
And I think they play as a very cohesive team. I know Steve Yzerman is saying, of course, he's been here for, I think, 14 years. And he was saying that this is really the first team. I mean, there have been highs and lows with some other team, but this is the first team that he really felt that camaraderie and not only the talent, but the ability to put it all together and pull it off.
And they've extended that to the new guy as well. You know that guy? That's Sergei Fedorov.
Sergei Fedorov. Number 91. You know, there's a great story about Sergei Fedorov. He broke his ribs during the playoffs. He shouldn't really have probably.
Is that in Colorado?
Yeah, he broke his ribs.
A whole summer like this.
Did you expect this many people when you got down here? The crowd's unbelievable.
Never expected any of this, right from the start.
Brendan Shanahan, Frank, Robbie, Guy, and Diana, if you guys can hear me, the crowd is deafening. Everybody cheering for their favorite Irishman here. He's having a great time. One thing all these guys keep telling us is that they are overwhelmed by all of this. They're just so impressed with the fans, and they are just enjoying every single moment. And so are we. We're having a great time down here. Brendan Shanahan.
Fetisov, Fedorov, Konstantinov, Slava Kozlov, the Russian five going behind us in one big group right now. They'll be going past Teresa in just a moment.
And boy, I tell you, they were really instrumental, weren't they?
A real heart of the team. And when those five guys get out there, they just take over, don't they?
They really do. And Larionov and Fetisov, You know, I didn't realize until reading up on them that they were Olympic gold medal winners. Remember when the Russian teams played in the Olympics and won every year? They were the top stars.
And relatively new to American fans, but around the world, these guys are those like the Wayne Gretzkys of hockey around the world.
Sure.
Extremely respected, very well known, have won all kinds of championships, gold medals for the Russians. Tremendous background in hockey, and I think probably the most respected players on the team by their colleagues, by the other players.
And Slava Kozlov actually is from Larionov's hometown.
Really?
Yeah, so you know they played hockey together before.
Imagine that, growing up together in a town in Russia and being champions there and coming here to America and winning the Stanley Cup on the same team in a city that's been longing for one for 42 years.
Unbelievable. What a great feeling. What a great city. This is the best sports town to play in. You can just tell by all the support that we're getting.
You were in front of the statue, the Spirit of Detroit, at 6 a.m. this morning with the cup, I understand.
Yeah, we were still having some fun. We took the cup away from Stevie and had some fun with it. Took it around the city.
Everyone loves you here, Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, have fun.
This crowd is just going absolutely crazy out here. They are cup crazy for sure now.
Also, Martin Lapointe. And Chris Draper.
You know, Draper, of course, playing a very instrumental role in getting the team fired up because when we finally got back to Mr. Lemieux and kind of handled him for the way he had ambushed Chris before, I think that created an atmosphere that really brought the Wings players together, really made them feel like, yeah, we're one unit, and they've been a different team ever since then.
Yeah, they've really been great. And Joey Kosar now. With Bob Kroger on the Red Wings, and they used to call them the Bruise Brothers. And Kosar's a great story. You know, he left the NHL and was playing with the over 30 hockey league over in Milford.
Joe out there playing with what they call a beer league.
The beer league, yeah. And the coach says, you know, we got to have him. Also, Kirk Maltby going by.
Great.
How are you feeling right now? You said earlier when you got off the bus that this was unbelievable. Can you believe this many people?
Just a great turnout. It's been great for the city, and let's do it next year.
You know what's kind of neat is you guys are thanking the fans and everybody's thanking you, but you all have posters in your cars that saying thank you, Detroit.
It's all about the fans. It's all about everybody in this city that waited so long, and it's just been great.
Thank you.
Is that Lindstrom right here behind us?
Tomas Sandstrom's going by. Nicholas Lindstrom's going by, number 5.
What an amazing reception.
You know, it's interesting to see some of the players taking cameras and shooting the crowd as well. Bob Rouse, number 3, coming.
And of course, after having such a hard-fought season and playing so well in the playoffs, even though they're tired, you know, it's nice to see them looking a bit more relaxed now. I think they're finally able to let it sink in that they're champions. the battle for the cup is over. They've won it, and now they can relax a little bit and really enjoy the benefits of it.
You know, and also coming up, Larry Murphy. Now, he's an interesting story. He didn't even come to the Wings until, I think, January. I know it was very, very late.
No, exactly it. First year it happened for me, and I'm excited. I hope it goes uphill, though. Got to happen next year again.
Thanks a lot. You got to go. There he is, Aaron Ward on his way. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Don.
And you're looking at Chopper 7. You see the entire parade route. Boy, is it jam-packed. Aaron Ward is the University of Michigan player, former player.
One of the players, like you mentioned, with a camera, is taking pictures of the crowd. But I mean, you'd want to save and savor this day for the rest of your life, really. I don't think you could ever get tired as a player of looking back at the tape of this day and seeing all these fans out here. And
well, none of that, because you notice a lot of them have their families with them and little kids with them as well. And they want something for the kids to remember as well.
Boy, if we're overwhelmed, imagine some of these youngsters riding in the car to see all these people together, all in the sea of red and white.
You know, unless they also kind of wonder, you know, gee, Daddy, what's all this fuss about you? And Chris Osgood now coming up. And, you know, Chris Osgood, we mentioned it before, he's a goalie. He had more wins during the regular season than Vernon actually did, but Vernon really came through in the playoffs.
In here, Kevin, a couple of quick words. You got to move here.
Yeah, it's unbelievable feeling. You know, I didn't play very much this year, but to be in like parade like this is just to show the support from the Detroit fans. That's why it's Hockey Town, USA. It's unbelievable.
I know you played only 6 games this year, but they were great, weren't they?
Oh, you know what? Just to be with the Stanley Cup team, I'll cherish this the rest of my life. And you know, Mike and Chris deserve to play the most, and they're great goalies.
Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Jamie Pusher. Jamie Pusher. Jamie Pusher.
By Jamie Pusher. Is that Holmstrom? And Don Shane has Mike Vernon with him. Donnie?
All right, thank you so much, guy. Let me jump up here and, hey, Mike! Is this the most overwhelming thing you've been involved in, man?
Oh, this is unbelievable. The fans have been great, and this whole situation has been unbelievable. Unbelievable year for myself.
Did you have anything like this in Calgary when you won this thing?
Well, I'll tell you right now, the amount of people that are down here right now is the whole population of Calgary. So this is truly amazing. It's unbelievable.
How about the last 3 days, huh?
Well, a lot of excitement. A lot of things have been happening in the last 3 days. A lot of fun. A lot of
congratulations, Mike.
Oh, thank you, Detroit.
Last guy is Eiserman and the cup.
Oh, what a treat now.
Good coming up. Of course, we had Matthew Dana now go by, Tim Taylor go by.
But here comes Stevie Eiserman with the cup. I think he's getting to spend the most time with it, and I think the players, the other players on the team, really want him to really enjoy it.
You know, the nice thing that he says, of course, everybody loves Stevie Eiserman, as he said, you know, he's played for the Wings for 14 years. Came here when he was only 18 years old.
With this one goal in mind that entire time.
Yeah, and he has said, you know, I am staying with the Detroit Red Wings. There is no other team for me. I'm retiring from the Detroit Red Wings when I retire. It's not ready yet.
And I'll tell you, what a great example for kids, too, for youngsters to see a young man dedicate 14 years of his life to reaching one goal and then finally getting to see him savor reaching that goal today. What a beautiful sight that is.
It's also nice to, he has his family, his wife, and his young daughter. This crowd loves Stevie, and why not?
What a moment. 1997 Stanley Cup champion Red Wings and the captain, Steve Yzerman, hoisting that Stanley Cup.
Boy, is that nice. Is that nice?
That's a once-in-a-lifetime sight, you know? I mean,
Makes you, he made everyone here feel like they were all a part of it.
exactly. And you know when he holds it, that's the feeling you get when he holds it, like he's really just presenting it to you, you know, as much as enjoying it himself. Fabulous.
Absolutely great. Absolutely great.
And of course, here comes Mike Ilitch, who has got to be the happiest man in the world right now.
Mike and Marion giving it the Lift Stanley Cup sign.
I think he's enjoying the moment.
I know. And Mike, too, has said, you know, this is a goal of his that has been a long time in coming.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, if you own any kind of sports club, you can only dream of them being champions because you respect them and you love them and you want to see them be successful. And what a great year this has been and a great season. In case you missed the smaller version, this will help give you an idea.
There's the float that they painted all the balloons red and white. It took them like for 24 hours.
What a job that must have been, huh?
Absolutely.
Great work by the parade company. They have really put together some fabulous floats to come down here. Now you'll see some hockey pucks being thrown out to the crowd. I understand that a portion of the proceeds from the purchase of these hockey pucks is going to Children's Hospital.
Correct.
Absolutely wonderful. Look at these guys out here. Can you believe them? It's great for our city, great for the fans.
Can we get a word with your husband real quick?
You got to go over on the other side.
Mike! Anything you'd like to say to the fans this morning, Mike?
What's that? I didn't hear you.
Anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Oh, I'm excited. This is marvelous. I love them. They love me. And I'm going to make the most of it because we done won it.
This is a dream come true for you, isn't it?
Oh, man, this is great.
Mr. and Mrs. Mike Ilitch, of course, on the parade route heading to Hart Plaza, trying to get our access to all these people. There's so many people here, police officers and security guards. We're doing our best, but the best thing I can tell you is that they are so grateful to the fans. They keep saying over and over again, thank you, Detroit. Many of the players, as you've seen, have had their own video cameras that are taking pictures, as are the crowd here. And this crowd is just having such a fantastic time. What do you think so far? Is this unbelievable or what?
This is the end of it, this band back here.
Yes, it is. You're having a great time?
I can't hear you.
Are you having a good time here
Yes,
this morning?
real good.
What time did you get here?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, okay. That's what it's like down here. It's crazy, it's wild. People are having a wonderful time. It's very loud. We can't hear you guys too well, but you guys take it away. We're having a great time.
Wait.
Our pleasure. We loved having it. Thanking Maura Jones for letting us have the use of her cup for a while. It's been kind of a great companion up
That's
here.
great. That is great.
I think this last marching band here is probably going to wrap things up.
And they are high stepping.
As we predicted, a lot of these folks are kind of falling in with the parade crowd. And I think they'll be heading down to Hart Plaza to join the celebration down there.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
High School.
Osborne High School marching band. They're red, white, and blue.
You can tell the crowd's getting all ready to start heading down to the end of the parade. They're gonna wrap up the parade with
I think Don Shane has Brendan Shanahan down there. You got him down there, Donnie?
All right, thank you so much. Brendan's right here. Let's jump up and talk to Mr. Shanahan. It did not take you very long to get ingrained into this city with a love affair, I guess.
Well, you got to win to do that, and we did it. We had the team that did it, and obviously the fans are showing it their appreciation. They waited 42 years, and I'm spoiled. Just, you know, to have this happen in my first year, I mean, they deserve it more than I do.
Yeah. Now, Brendan, as these fans are yelling, Shanny, Shanny, I mean, what goes through your mind? Look at this adoration here.
I'm just trying to take it all in, hopefully remember it. I didn't bring my camcorder, so you'll have to get me a tape.
That's not a problem. Did you ever imagine it would be what it is today?
I usually got booed when I came to Detroit, so it's kind of nice in one short year to be getting this.
Last 3 or 4 days been kind of a blur.
They haven't, but it's been a nice one.
Hey, stand up, take a bow. They're hollering your name, man.
This is our own version of the Stanley Cup.
Wasn't this nice? Laura Jones made this for us and brought us here for our set. Somebody handed me this so we can get in the swing.
Gotta give you a little bit of that Stevie Eiserman feeling, huh?
Go ahead, lift it up your head.
What a great day in downtown Detroit. A fabulous time we've had bringing it to you. The big parade celebrating the big victory, the 1997 Stanley Cup champions in Hockey Town.
This is definitely Hockey Town.
You bet.
Yeah.
Take good care of yourselves, everybody, and of course, we'll see you at 5 o'clock.
Okay, thanks for joining us.
Y'all ready for this?
It's my team. It's how it can be old, you know, when you get this kind of day, you know. Thanks a lot for everybody. I love you.
And you guys aren't getting any more tired of this. You've been through it for the past 3 days with rallies. How does it feel by day 3?
Oh, it's, I mean, we forget about everything now. We have to celebrate, and let's celebrate with us, you know. We love you. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you. And now we're going to go over to one of Detroit's biggest fans, and that is Mayor Dennis Archer over at Hart Plaza with Huell. Huell?
Absolutely, Jennifer. This man has been rooting for the Red Wings since they started the season, even before that, when he was growing up in Detroit. You talk about an international effort. We have flags from the USA, Canada, and Russia flying here. And Dennis Archer is waving his flag for the city of Detroit. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for being here.
Thanks, Huell. It's good to be here. I don't know if you can hear me. We're sort of fading in and out. But if you can hear me, I want you to know that I'm very proud of our city, Detroit, and all these great fans and how people have been responding in the city of Detroit. It's just been outstanding.
They say that the Stanley Cup is more than just a sports trophy. It's a symbol of something more. What does it mean to the city?
Well, first of all, I think when you consider it's taken 42 years to bring Stanley Cup back home to Detroit, and then when you consider how long it's taken to sort of bring the city back, it's coming at the right time. It couldn't be better. Stanley and the city, #1. We're coming.
You and Police Chief Ike McKinnon, the day before we swept the Flyers, went on the air and warned the crowd to keep their cool. Were you surprised at how well they responded?
No, because I think everybody appreciated that if we do harm to our city, it hurts all of us.
and nobody wanted a repeat of 1984 when you had that guy standing out there with a police car overturned with a fire. That picture went all over the world. It hurt the image of the city of Detroit. We've all worked too hard. We didn't want that to happen again. Our people love the city of Detroit. The suburban people love the city of Detroit. Michigan loves Detroit. And now America's going to love Detroit.
Well, Mr. Mayor, apparently we have the big mo right now, and now it's time to build on what we have right here. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. And by the way, thank you for all that you all did to make sure that your station weighed in to keep everything cool. Thank you.
The mayor of the city of Detroit, Dennis Archer. Let's throw it back now to Jennifer Hammond.
All right, and car number 25 going by right now, Darren McCarty. The police keeping a very close eye on him. They don't want us to get too close to him at this point in time. They want
Hill over there, too. Barry Smith.
He's right in front of the podium, Scotty is with his family.
Right.
You know, we were looking at some of the ticker tape falling out of the office buildings in downtown Detroit, and our own Ann Thompson put it, I think, very accurately. I don't think much work is getting done here.
We should have asked
downtown.
the mayor about the gross domestic product droppage today, yes.
There's Scotty Bowman and his family, his wife.
He's right over here about
Suella.
There he is talking to Ken Cal, who was kind enough, as we mentioned earlier, to let Bruce step in and do the second period of Game 4 the other night.
Let's see if we can bring him around here, maybe.
We've got another crowd shot just to give you an idea of how thick this crowd is, and they have been waiting for these players to arrive. And we can only anticipate what the reaction will be.
I'm being told we have Cup Cam somewhere. Let's take a look at Cup Cam. Where would that be, folks? Well, right there.
There it is.
Good job.
We got more cameras than Kodak today.
And we should also say, too, that we're probably still playing host to some of the international media that was here for the Grand Prix and probably stayed over for this parade as well.
While we're talking about the Cup, I got a great little story to tell you here. Channel 4 earlier this year, as we look at Steve Yzerman, Channel 4 earlier this year wanted to borrow some equipment from the Red Wings so that we could shoot some promos. It was while the Wings were on a West Coast road trip, so they brought us some of the home gear, which included Steve Yzerman's home helmet. Our producer, Bob Ellis, did not think it was wise to leave Steve Yzerman's actual helmet laying around at the station, so he took it home that night.
Okay.
He took it home, hands it to his brother, who is a longtime worshipful Red Wings fan, and he sees that his brother is starting to take the padding out of the helmet. He says, "What in the world are you doing?" His brother draws a tiny little Stanley cup in the padding of Steve Yzerman's helmet, stuffs the padding back in, and sends it on its way. So if you ask, and there it is. Did you see that? There was the cup. So if you ask the Ellis family, they will tell you that that was the mojo. That was the one that brought the Stanley Cup to Detroit in 1997.
You know what? There are going to be more stories that we're going to hear about this victory. Bernie, you've got to have some about what was your finest moment in the last 3 days or last 2 weeks.
My finest moment in the last 3 days was getting 4 hours of sleep. That was my finest moment.
I don't think Steve Yzerman is ever going to get tired of raising the Stanley Cup.
Well, when you wait 14 years for something this good, I think this pretty much is the payoff for you. It's like, I think we all probably, you know, when a moment comes, you want to savor every second of it, and he certainly is doing that.
That cup, as revered as it is, it's going to be in bars and taverns, and the guys are going to take it back up into Canada. It's going to be sitting in a little bar stool up there someplace. It's going to be in homes. They can do anything they want with it.
There's nothing like it in sports, is there?
That's right, exactly.
Well, I can't imagine what this crowd is going to do when the Red Wings finally make their way here to Hart Plaza. But if you can't hear us think, and we can't hear ourselves think, you'll understand that they have actually arrived, and they're still making their way down Woodward Avenue right now.
You know, the cup is the symbolic trophy in all the sports. I mean, you can go to football, the Vince Lombardi Trophy started when the Super Bowl started. Basketball, the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Baseball has some, I don't know what baseball, they've got
flags around it.
With the prongs, right, and that's fairly new, but this is the tradition of all traditions, is this cup.
Well, this parade is any inspiration to the other sports teams in this town. I hope they're watching.
We need to try and
celebrate.
Yeah, we need to try and get a copy of Steve Yzerman's video there that he's shooting right now.
It'll be available at Blockbuster.
Oh, we've got somebody having to move somebody back out of the way there.
Come on.
Well, we knew that would happen.
Come on, lighten up.
Oh, well, you can see what's happened there. The parade route is down to about 4 feet wide. They can't get the cars through to get to Hart Plaza. The crowd's just kind of moved in.
Looks like the
But the crowds have been so manageable all weekend long, and certainly I think they're going to take a hint, take a cue. Back up so we can all enjoy this moment.
Are they going to make a left on Jefferson there, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing? Or
They're going to have to come down here with us.
Well, can you make that left there, or do you have to go right to go left?
You gotta make
Will they make the parade make a Michigan left?
Now, is that one of the assistant coaches?
Dave Lewis.
Okay.
Dave Lewis.
Maybe not a familiar face to many of the fans, but certainly a familiar face of the Red Wing family there.
I see Barry Smith just to his left. If we get a shot over there, you'll see Barry Smith, who took a little time out this year. Oh, we've got Scotty's up here.
Yeah, we've got Scotty here. We're trying to hook him up right now. We're going to get a headset
no, do
on
I
him.
have to apologize?
No, you just have to interview him.
Do I? Well, hello,
Scotty, how are
Mr.
you?
Bowman.
There we go. We get you suited up here so you can hear us.
There we go.
How's that?
There you are.
That's right. You hear it?
Scotty, I'm Carmen Harlan, and I just want to tell you that all those things I said about you, I really didn't mean. After all those many, many years. Congratulations.
You've been through Stanley Cup parades before, but did you expect this today?
No, I mean, it's been well handled, and I don't know how they could have so many people and everybody be, you know, the electricity of the fans was, I've never seen anything like it.
Well, you had to make some difficult decisions throughout the years, and now we've seen the payoff for it, and we do want to congratulate you for it.
Thanks very much, and you know, it's amazing that we probably set another record today for people at a parade.
I think
Scotty, the question is whether you're coming back next year. Everyone wants to know. If the doctor gave you a clean bill of health and said you had the heart of a 20-year-old and you had low cholesterol and you were in great shape and you're a beautiful man and everything, what would prevent you from coming back?
No, I got to talk to the people that, you know, above me, because they're the people that, you know, probably make the final decision, because we've talked about this before, and, you know, the day would come that I wouldn't coach. So I'm just going to enjoy this week, and next week probably sit down and, you know, come to a tough decision.
It's family, right?
Let me ask you about last night. When Steve Yzerman made the comments about you, we saw a very soft side suddenly of Scotty Bowman, and I could see, obviously, that had a tremendous effect on you.
Well, you know, it's been a team all year long, and we're coaches, but we didn't have to do a lot of coaching most nights because we had a very committed team. I think in the final analysis, that's why we did win, because the opposition didn't know what was coming next.
Let's show you the tape of that speech last night that we talked about. Let's take a look at that real quick.
But in closing, I want to say this to everybody. I will be a part of the Detroit organization, and let's go back next year and do it again. Thank you.
So you're going to stay with the organization, am I correct? Is that your
I came here like 4 years ago, and that was one of the discussions I had with Marion and Mike Ellis, the fact that I'd moved enough times. I wanted to get somewhere. I didn't know how long I was going to coach. I coached, actually it was a 2-year contract, the first contract, and it was 1-year extensions twice. So, you know, I wanted to end up my career as a Red Wing. I made a decision 4 years ago, and nothing has changed.
What was so special about this team that they were able to sweep Philadelphia in 4 games straight?
Well, I definitely feel that, you know, you can always talk about a team, but the emergence of some of our role players, we had no role players in the playoffs. I mean, you know, when I say role players, they usually mean somebody has a secondary role. Everyone that went into that locker room every night looked around, and it gave so much strength, especially to the players like Yzerman and Shanahan, you know, Fedorov, and there's an awful lot of pressure on certain players, but that was removed by the fact that other players stepped up, and in the final run, of course, you know, the ones that could sing sang, and the ones that could dance danced, and that was important.
This team had the second best run in the playoffs of any team since they went to the 16 format. I know it's going to take some time to put this team in a historical perspective, but 2 sweeps, 2 series where they only lost 2 games. Have you got a sense of how really good this team is?
I sure have, because the last time I was in Pittsburgh and we won 11 straight, but we still lost 5 games in the playoffs.
Right.
But this team, when you look at our record, we lost our first home game to St. Louis, and then we didn't lose another home game, and that shows, like, teams coming into Detroit, they had a tough time in the playoffs because, you know, you can win on the road in the playoffs, and we proved, I think we won 7 games away from the Joe, but we only lost 1 game at home.
Mike Ilitch told us a story after the game the other night. After you lost one of the St. Louis games, he came down during the day. Do you remember? And he said he opened the door and he just yelled in to you and the assistant coaches, "You look like Colorado Game 6," and he slammed the door and walked out. Do you remember?
I know that I don't remember that incident as much as I do know he called down. He didn't have to call much in the playoffs, but he's a great fan, you know, and every time he called, we knew really it wasn't another coach trying to speak as much as, you know, he wanted to be assured that we were really giving our best, and he knew it. And I think that's what makes it all so special, that, you know, the Ilitch family itself, we feel like we're one of them.
How much did that win over Colorado at the end of the regular season solidify your team, bring them together as a group?
Well, we had difficulty matching up with Colorado. There's no question the last 2 years. The most important part of the game, I felt, was the fact that we came from the 5-3 deficit at the end of the second period and won it in overtime. And that was a huge win, even though you get 2 points for the win. It also, I think, gave a message to Colorado that if we did meet, and people were predicting we would, that it wasn't going to be the same as last year.
I want to ask you one more. How much did you agonize over Mike Vernon, making him your playoff guy?
No, we were looking at, because the last game of the season, we didn't know who we were going to play. We knew we were going to draw a team that had an experienced goaltender for sure. And when it was Grant Fuhrer in St. Louis, it made it the kind of choice, because he and Grant have played against each other. Mike was in Calgary, Grant was up in Edmonton. And, you know, Edmonton had a powerhouse, yet Calgary, I think a couple of years beat them. And, you know, we felt we had to get the experience in the net. We knew we had Chris Osgood right there to go in, and Mike knew that as well. There was a great feeling between the two of them, and we're fortunate that, you know, 3 years ago we decided to make a deal for Mike Vernon. And, you know, it's been a bit of a rocky road, but we never once wavered that he could really do it if we decide to go with him.
Scotty, you brought a moment to celebrate, and we don't want to detract from that too much. So thank you so very much for making us so very, very proud.
Thank you.
Very much, Scotty.
Thanks.
Chuck Edica has Osgood. Chris Osgood. Chuck, where are you?
Hey, Chris. Chris is being swamped right now for autographs. You can see that on the side. Actually, the Detroit police have had a little more trouble with Chris in autographs, I think, than some of the other players coming down the lane here. Their Ford Mustang convertibles. I can't even get to that side. Carmen, Devin, Bernie, back up to you guys. Hey, there's Chris. Chris, how's it feel to be out here?
It's unbelievable. It's everything you always dreamed about. Best time of my life. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more than this right now.
A lot of the guys have said that this parade was actually going to be bigger than the night you won. Is that your experience or not?
I think it is, yeah. A lot bigger, as you can see. I mean, the amount of people out here is unbelievable. I can't say enough about the fans here and what they've done for everybody here on the team.
Well, congratulations. Take care.
Chuck, introduce yourself as parade boy to all the players. Then they'll let you get through. Oh, he's gone, I guess.
Well, you know what? It's hard to hear yourself think in a crowd like that.
I made a career out of that.
You were looking at just a marvelous day for the city of Detroit, and just having a nice chat there with Scotty Bowman. He brought so much, a great honor to the team, but more importantly than that, he brought a terrific honor, a terrific feeling to the city.
So what do you think, just listening to him? Is he coming back or is he staying?
Oh, well, he's coming back.
You think he's coming back?
He's
going to come back.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
He wants to end his career as a Red Wing, too. Listen to me, I sound so confident.
You do. I don't know, Bernie, what's your sense?
I've been covering sports for about
Miss Hockey
an hour.
of 96.
Now, who is this?
Bernie, what's your sense there on that?
On
Bowman?
I think he's going to really wait, and I think it'll be a family decision. I think as much as he traveled his whole life, when you miss all your kids that much, I think there comes a moment when you want to say that's enough.
Well, Bruce Martin, you know Scotty really well. How important would it be now that he can see that he is within reach of Toe Blake's record?
He's a very proud person.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the only thing I think that would bring him back, is if he could do that. But then again, I say he's also very wrapped up with his family, and that's something else he has to give some thought to. So I would say right now, I don't think Scotty knows. I don't think really Scotty can't say yes or no. He's going to do some very deep thinking.
I just hope he does, so we don't have to go through these weeks and weeks of speculation of who would replace him.
Yeah.
Well, we've got more Red Wings who are part of this parade, raising the roof, along with, I want to say millions of fans, at least thousands and thousands of fans.
100 million. Just saying, who's going to count them, you know?
Well, you've got the Detroit Police Department doing their job, trying to keep the crowd, and, you know, they understand the excitement, and they're wanting to get close to some of the players here, but they've got a job to do as well.
That guy's going to be locked in that position all summer long.
Look for his new workout video.
Right.
Steve Yzerman and cup lifting.
I bet it feels like a feather to him right now. He just,
you know,
and that banner says it best. Congratulations, Red Wings.
You know, Saturday night, he carried it so much above his head, we finally got him in the locker room. He said he rested it on his head. I can't hold it up anymore. I said, how does it feel? I'm talking about winning. He says, heavy.
Well, you know, it took so long to get it. I guess he just didn't want to let it go.
Yeah.
Bruce, did you ever get to that point where you just, after 31 years, none of which a cup came home, did you start to think maybe it was a cursed team or something? Did you wonder at it?
Well, they kept using words like jinx, though, you know.
Yeah. Well, actually, the reason I announced my retirement in '95 was because I was absolutely positive they were going to win it. I didn't think there was any way they couldn't. And then they get whacked out in 4 games. Philadelphia thought this was their year, and they get whacked out in 4 games. So, yeah, I started to feel maybe I am a jinx to this hockey club. I didn't want to do the second period the other night. I figured I'll probably take them right out of it.
We want to pass along word to soap opera fans. If you're waiting to see Days of Our Lives, you are instead seeing a tremendous celebration in downtown Detroit. But if you'd like to set your VCR to record Days of Our Lives, it will be shown at 3:54 a.m. 3:54 a.m. for Days of Our Lives.
Not 4, 3:54, right?
3:54.
And also, we'll welcome our viewers on Pass who are watching along with us here on Channel 4. John Wharton has joined us, the trainer extraordinaire for the Detroit Red Wings. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
And John, you've also lost the goatee. You probably couldn't wait to get rid of that either, huh?
Yeah, I lost the goatee, but the smile hasn't left my face since Saturday night, not once.
What was it like coming down the parade route today?
I can't put it into words. I can't explain it. I recorded the whole thing on a little camcorder, and that'll be special for me to go back and watch the whole thing. These fans are just obsessed and just rabid about this team, and I think it's going to go on for some time.
I'd be so proud because after they thanked, all the players thanked Mike Gillett, Scotty Bowman, you were like, bang, right next, and you were the guy. I mean, it is really a kinship and a friendship that you build up with these guys, and you're sort of like their brother or you're their best friend all year long.
Yeah, well, these guys go through a lot, and when guys get hurt, you just don't treat the knee or the shoulder. You got to work with their head, and you got to reassure them that they're going to be okay because this is their livelihood. And you can't just rehab the injury and expect them to go out and play. You really got to work with them and make them feel comfortable. And they are. They're all like my brothers, and it's one big family in there. It starts with the Ilitches right on down.
Well, you knew that this was going to be a parade today, right? Did you have any idea that it was going to be like this?
I could never, ever imagine even 1/10 of this reception that we've got.
One of the keys for any team in any sport winning a championship is having a healthy year. And you think about it, really, Draper obviously had something to come back from last year, and then Konstantinov with his tennis injury just before during the summer. But other than that, wasn't it a pretty amazingly healthy year, wasn't it?
Yeah, we kept talking about it too, and everybody was afraid we were going to jinx the team. But
don't talk about it.
You know, for whatever reason, I think a bigger, stronger, more physical team helped. It's a lot easier to give a hit than it is to take a hit, and these guys were hurt. We can't lie about that, but that was just part of their focus. They were going to play no matter what, and it was just my job to make them as comfortable as I could and get them back out on the ice.
And you did it awfully well.
What does the T-shirt say? The drought's over? Drink up.
Drink up, Detroit.
All right,
have
and
a good time with
enjoy
us.
this. Oh, you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to find Ann Thompson somewhere in the crowd. I don't know. Ann, where are you?
Carmen, I'm at Cadillac Square. Look at Woodward Avenue. They have lost all control of this crowd. It has become an absolute love fest for the Red Wings. As Yzerman and Mike Gillett move through this crowd, it's getting smaller and smaller. The cars could hardly go. These people are just delirious with joy. I have a little boy here named Anthony Musso who's from Detroit. And Anthony, you brought your camera. Who'd you get pictures of?
What?
Who'd you get pictures of?
Yzerman, all the famous players.
What did you think when he held up the Stanley Cup?
That we actually won the cup.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, wasn't it? It really was an electric moment when Steve Yzerman came through this crowd. He held the cup one way, and then he turned around to this side of the crowd. They all loved every second of it. Carmen,
And what was that again?
Well, they're raising the roof at Cadillac Square, and they're raising the roof along Woodward Avenue, and they're certainly ready to raise the roof here at Hart Plaza.
Let me make one quick programming note. I told you a minute ago, Days of Our Lives will be shown at 3:54 tomorrow morning. Check that.
What?
20 minutes earlier. Yes, Bernie, you'll want this. 20 minutes earlier. 3:34 a.m. tomorrow morning for Days of Our Lives. 3:34.
Now, this will be the photograph that we will see in tomorrow's paper, with Yzerman holding the trophy up as he's riding down Woodward Avenue with a crowd of people. Euphoric hockey fans?
I think you could use that.
Yeah, that works.
There's several 100,000 other words you could probably use too. This is an amazing sight. Look at that.
Unbelievable.
Look at that.
Unbelievable.
That is just... I'm so happy for Yzerman, too. What a classy guy. What a good guy. I'll tell you a little story about Yzerman, which we did a special before the Stanley Cup Finals began. And we asked Yzerman to be on it. And so the PR guy asked him, and he said he couldn't do the interview that day. And I was over at Joe Louis, so we did an interview with Brendan Shanahan. We finished Shanahan. We went outside the parking lot. We were wrapping up our gear. Yzerman drove around after practice, came up to us. He said, I am so sorry. I had an appointment today. I can't do it. Could you meet me tomorrow? I'd love to be on it. And I said, yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem. Really, yeah. So we went, yeah, right. No, Steve, we don't think
can't make it.
And we came back. But, I mean, most guys, you know, no, that's it. Goodbye, adios. Drove around, maybe Bang was there, did a great interview, you know, just such, and then that's what...
See, those are the stories that you don't hear often.
Right.
But you know what, if you take a look at this shot...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was just going to tell you that the parade is... The people have become a part of the parade. They have collapsed into the street, so you don't know where the parade is going to end, but I bet it's going to end like right behind Yzerman.
He's got a police cordon
because the
around
crowd
him.
has actually joined the parade and will follow him into Hart Plaza.
They actually had a couple of parade units that were supposed to come behind Steve Yzerman. I'm not sure if they've been swallowed up or...
I think a couple of
remember, didn't we have,
Little Caesars.
Well, the Illich family was supposed to be back there, another high school. Yeah.
Well, we've seen Marion and Mike Illich. But they're going to all try to fit into this little area. I know it's not a little area, but it's certainly already congested already. I don't know where we're going to put them, but they'll find a spot, I'm sure.
Talking about Yzerman, Bruce, you were saying earlier about how normal hockey players are by modern pro athlete standards. They really seem so approachable to us.
Well, Steve is. He's by nature a very, very quiet person, as Bernie can tell you from the times you've talked with him. But I'll tell you one thing that Steve Yzerman, I think, has inspired his team more and more often, and John Wharton perhaps talked about it. I couldn't hear it. But I have never seen a man play hurt as Steve Yzerman has. I mean, with a flak jacket, I would have been laying in a hospital bed sometimes, and he was out on the ice.
You remember the knee. Remember when he had his bad knee? And
exactly right. They were going to, and here you have to give Mike Illich credit. They were going to do surgery. They were going to really cut him up pretty good. They said he'd be back about 80%, 85% perhaps if he were lucky. Mike Illich sent him to 3, 4 different, they finally got to the point where they did it with therapy.
Right.
And it wasn't the therapy so much, it was the fact that Steve Yzerman and I would go into that dressing room. This man would be working and working and working. I'm talking about just trying to get back to where he could play the game of hockey. And he combined with a physical therapist, did it by himself. And he played hurt more than any other player I think I've ever seen.
We heard a little bit of that, Bruce, last night at the rally. And I think we want to kind of relive that. Let's go back to that tape if we've got it of Yzerman's address to the crowd last night. It was very moving, very emotional.
Saturday night was the most memorable night in my 25 or 26 years of playing hockey. And like Joey said, 20, 30 years from now, I'll never forget any one of the faces I'm looking at, staring at right now. Wherever we go, we're going to be together. And I'll never forget everybody, and I'll be grateful for the rest of my life for allowing me to play with you guys and accomplish what we accomplished.
And, of course, he also noted last night that he will be a Red Wing forever. He'll finish his career wearing the winged wheel.
You know, there's another thing, too, because you talk about the play of Sergei Fedorov. Yzerman taught him to play hurt. I really think he did. Yeah. I mean, they used to say, well, my finger hurts or I've got a headache or what have you, and I don't think I can make it tonight. Yzerman would come out there with broken ribs and everything else, and pretty soon these guys started to realize that this is a little different here. This is the way it has to be done, the way it will be done.
You step up when the captain steps up.
That's right.
And the maturity I mean, it's interesting to watch a guy get drafted here, 18, and I wasn't here when he first came here, but a few years later, I was here, and he was fairly young, and I remember when Jacques Demers made him the captain. And that was
21.
Yeah, but that was a big day. I mean, that was when I guess the fabric of this hockey team and this franchise turned, because he took this on as a part of him, and he was going to be a reflection of it, and it was going to be him. And I remember it was an agonizing choice for Jacques, but he said he's going to do it, and he had the right guy, he felt.
Well, what he also did, he put so much pressure on Steve Yzerman at that time that Yzerman actually felt that he had to carry this hockey club, and at times he did have to. And it was just too much for one person. And now that he's got the help, he's, to me, one of the finest hockey players in the league, and maybe in the history of the league.
Well, we were a little concerned, Bruce, that his car had stopped as it was making its way through the crowd, but you can see now that he is moving slowly toward Hart Plaza.
They should pass him like a rock concert. Just pass him over the crowd.
Stand him up. That's right.
Don't give this crowd any ideas. Believe me, they are so happy. And this is the payoff for those days that you talked about, those games where they have to play hurt, and they don't know where they're going to muster up that energy and that courage. But this is the payoff for them.
But I still say he's going faster than I did on I-75 this morning.
And we do want to thank the Detroit Police Department for doing such a fine job. Believe me, this is not an easy crowd to I should say an easy crowd to control. This is not an easy day to be in their suits, when they would probably like to be donning a little red and white and celebrating as well, but they've got a job to do, and it seems to be paying off very well.
What it is, it's a crowd, it's not a mob.
Right.
And there's such a difference. It's an adoring crowd, and there's such a difference.
You get some more of the international flavor of all this. He just went by a Canadian flag there. I was looking behind me. We've got the old hammer and sickle Soviet flag is right behind us here in honor of the Russian 5. I believe I saw a Swedish flag earlier as well.
Is that Brezhnev?
Brezhnev
is that Brezhnev? Do I say Brezhnev? Carmen, is that it?
Thank you, Bernie.
There it is. There you go.
I'm in Alex.
Well, we know
Alex
we could not
Brezhnev.
have done it without the Russian 5.
Oh.
Certainly their contribution is not going unnoticed.
Well, and you know, I laughed a lot at the criticism over the years that the Russians maybe didn't have the drive to win. I mean, did we think that Russian athletes didn't have the drive to win back in the 70s and 80s when they were wiping us in the Olympics? You know, it's more the stoic presence, I think, that is part of the Russian character that we sometimes confuse with disinterest. But these guys, especially in the old days, when being an athlete was the only way to survive in the Soviet system and have a decent apartment and a decent life for yourself, they know all about winning.
Well, they're going to get an American acceptance like they've never had before, and this is going to be certainly a baptism of, so to speak, for them.
So actually, they were professionals playing amateurs.
Exactly.
The Red Army just controlled everything, and they were professional athletes, so to speak, and then they were playing not our professionals at all. We were pure amateur. Since then, it's changed considerably.
Yeah.
We can hear the audience behind us, and they're calling for the Wings. And I think they're ready to see at least one or two make their way to the stage here at Hart Plaza.
They've been here for well-behaved and
yes, they have.
Kind of hanging out here in
time before we got here.
In a brutal, and the sun, there isn't a cloud in the sky, so it is there's going to be some red skin going home from here.
The fireboats that you've seen on the shots along the river, the water looks really pretty when they shoot it out of the fireboats, but it doesn't get this far, so they can't they can't cool off that way either.
You want to hose down the crowd? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't think we want to do that. But another shot down Woodward Avenue. As you can see, the crowd actually filling in the street behind the Red Wing Parade as it's making its way to Hart Plaza here in downtown Detroit along the river.
That was almost like the 18th hole at a golf tournament when they go to the 72nd hole on a Sunday and they just take the ropes down and everybody runs up right to the
British
hole.
Open.
Right. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
What a scene. What a scene.
Now that's Jefferson Avenue that's running perpendicular to Woodward. That runs, and I'm sure the audience is saying, what are you saying, Carmen? But that is they're going to make that turn and come right around here to Hart Plaza.
You know, I don't know if there's a better way to say this or not, but I was looking over this crowd a little while ago, and I did not see a can or a bottle in the entire crowd. I mean, it's just yeah, it's not. It's party time, it's celebration time, but it's so controlled.
Great atmosphere, really is. And I will be shocked if there's not I don't know, Bernie, how are you at crowd estimates? I'll be
I'm
shocked.
very good.
If it's not somewhere over 500,000 people, I'll be shocked.
I counted over 3 million
Did
already
you?
myself.
Okay, all right.
Just an individual count.
That's good.
Well, you know, in Detroit, we don't do anything alone because this is an international border with Windsor, Canada. And if you think that we've got a crowd on this side, and certainly we can't expect the crowd to be equally that large on the other side, but I can just look across the river and I can see the cars that are being parked along the Windsor side of the Detroit.
Right.
The Stanley Cup that was erected for this parade. And it's trying to, no, there it is. There's another shot of it. And let me tell you how long they worked on that.
Okay, go ahead.
That we do really need to give our audience an opportunity to take this in. I mean, this is a replica of the real thing. And it's got its own float and certainly its own flags. I don't know who are the players on there, if there are any.
That's not the flag. That's Pizza.
That's Pizza. Well, we know who pays the bills over there, don't we?
All right, I'm told that we've got an overhead shot now. We gave you an idea of our location earlier, Dwight. There we are.
Here, I'm going out and I say hi.
Bruce, I can see you on the corner.
There we go.
That's me on the corner.
There we go, back. No, wrong side.
Wrong side. But that's okay if you're watching us at home. That's us under the blue awning. And we want to say welcome and thank you for watching our parade coverage here.
Oh, I
the
see
Detroit
you guys.
Red Wings
Hey, there
Victory Parade. Is that you,
Come
Bernie?
on back. Tell them to come on back. Come back down here. You got to take that shot.
Look, there they come.
There we are.
Bernie, don't fall off of there,
I'm not.
okay?
I'm all right. I'm insured.
There he is.
I'm insured.
Bernie Smilovitz.
Welcome
good camera.
to Detroit.
That is a great camera.
Good camera work. Thanks, Scott.
This is referred to as a ham.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's our own Suzanne Wengler and Chopper 4, who
Well
just let
done,
you know
Ham.
she saw you.
Albeit a kosher one.
We can talk about that after the show. Sure, go ahead.
Well, you know, some of these people spent the night. Some of them got here as early as maybe 7 o'clock this morning. And, I mean, not that I'm mentioning time or anything, but we're going on, what, almost 1:30 here?
We're off.
This locker room hat.
Well,
Well, tell you the truth of the matter, John Horton, when I walked in the locker room the other night, ran to get me one of the hats that everybody was wearing, and I was so proud. I went out with my wife the next morning to the mall.
Uh-huh.
And there were 7,000 of them.
They're selling their tables bigger than this one full of them.
That's
Well, you see Darren McCarty with his and a fan trying to get a photograph of it as well.
Kidding. There you are. Right. I get to step out, Carmen.
Yeah, Carmen, get up.
You have to step out. Come on.
Come on, Carmen.
Come on down. There you are. Wave. Very nice. Very nice. Now, Carmen, can you still hear me? You are one multiple. We see people up on the buildings, out on the boats, over in Windsor. This town is just Cub crazy, and way to go, Hockey Town. You fans are number one. Those players must feel so special right about now. But back down to you two in the tent. We've got the best seat in the house, guaranteed.
Oh, you certainly do. I wonder where they're going for lunch, these million people.
A rooftop cafe. That's where we're going.
All right.
All right, see you guys.
He's got to be warm in that jersey, though. It's a beautiful day, but it's a warm one here. And there he is being greeted by the mayor of Detroit, Dennis Archer.
This must be the 30th time they've shaken hands.
Wouldn't you like to be in a few of those conversations?
He's got the road uniform on, though.
You know what he's saying? I told you if you won the Stanley Cup, we'd throw you a party. He says, yes, but I didn't know it was going to be this big.
Mike doesn't normally get that excited. He's not a...
Right.
Well, we've seen another side of him.
He's very much a business person, and wife Marion will. I mean, she shows emotion a great deal more, but I have never seen Mike so animated as he has been, and I can surely understand it.
Well, we're hearing that.
Nice try. Nope.
Well, there's a slight resemblance, huh?
When you spend that much time, you start looking like the other guy.
You say that when you're married, too, you know.
Next question. Carmen, you're not going to make it till 5 if you keep boogieing up here, like dancing all this.
This is one team where, in all the games that I watch, and I was a little bit part of and so forth, you couldn't point your finger at one player and say he didn't do his part.
I agree.
Everybody did.
Scotty Bowman mentioned that. He said everybody stepped up.
You think back to the Stanley Cup champion teams in the last couple of years. If you take Wah off the Avalanche last year, they don't win the Cup. If you take Lemieux or Brodeur off the year before, maybe the Devils don't win the Cup. This team, I think you're right. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find one person that made it all sing.
And you had half a dozen of these kids that never got in a game. And they were in the dressing room all the time, and they were the Black Legion, so to speak, that went out there and then practiced after the rest of them were done with their practice. And they stayed upbeat, so upbeat. There was no moaning, no sulking. It was just everybody was a part of it.
And there's another shot of Hart Plaza here on the Detroit riverfront with the fireboats shooting off their water, just to let you know that the celebration is in full swing here as the Detroit Red Wings make their way to the center stage of Hart Plaza.
Got a lot of the players' wives and the players' children here now starting to gather in the seats just in front of the stage, so we shouldn't be too long at all away from the rally. Oh, what a gorgeous shot that is from the Windsor side.
And we know that the...
Come on down, we got room for you.
Yeah, right.
Yep. We got
Join a million other people here. The organization, either
I think most of them are,
as well as the sports franchises as well.
Let's see, there's Denise and Carol and Lisa, and there's Mike Jr. and Thomas and Chris and Ronnie.
You are good.
That's 7. Yeah. Well, you do your homework. Yeah, you know,
Very close family.
Very, very close, yeah.
And a very proud moment for them as well, because they've certainly invested not only in the sports franchises here, but certainly in the downtown area. Shot of Hart Plaza, the fountain is usually it's on when there aren't people here, you know, and a lot of office workers will have their lunch here in the summertime, but they couldn't dare turn it on. No, you're gonna have to be satisfied with the fireboats today, because we've got people not only under the fountain. Well, sounds like the celebration is getting underway.
This is Ken Cowell, who is the radio
is
of
this
the
a
Detroit
great
Red Wings.
For
Let's pick up
parade or what?
We're tired of talking. Take it, Ken.
You're looking good, Red Wing fans. What a great day. Thank you on behalf of the Detroit Red Wing organization, the members of the city of Detroit. You deserve a nice round of applause for coming down here and supporting your Stanley Cup champion, Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, let me use your pass for a few. What? Let me use your pass for a few.
Again, fans, our program will be starting in just a few short moments here. Again, we'd like to thank all of you for making this a particularly successful event and supporting the greatest hockey team in the world, the Detroit Red Wings. Come on, Detroit, let's hear it for your Red Wings. Come on. Again, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your Stanley Cup champion. Detroit Red Wings. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ken Carroll, the radio voice of the Detroit Red Wings on the flagship home for Red Wing Hockey, News Talk 760 WJR. And right now, we're going to bring up Detroit's own Karen Newman for the singing of the national anthem.
Almost feel like there's going to be a hockey game, don't you? When
Whenever she sings, huh? They drop the puck. All right, fellas, sit down, sit down.
For the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rocked like the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, let's hear it for Karen Newman. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor right now to present to you the former Detroit Red Wing 50-goal scorer. You see him broadcasting Red Wing games on UPN 50 and Passports. Ladies and gentlemen, Mickey Redmond. How do you raise the cup? That's how we'll do it for a long, long time. Thank you very much, Kenny. I just want to say that it's been a long time coming. The last 4 or 5 years have been heartbreaking, but that's all behind us now. I want to say thank you, Detroit. We have celebrated. We have behaved.
Yeah, I want to get
We
it
have
back.
represented
Where'd
the
he go?
city of Detroit and the state of Michigan with a ton of class. For that, you deserve all the credit in the world. Thank you very much, guys. Great job. You are the best hockey fans in the whole wide world. Right now, I know you're waiting to talk to some of the guys and the coaches. I'm going to get on with the program immediately. 7 Stanley Cups after Saturday night. The man that's behind the bench, the mastermind behind it all, the one and only Scotty Bowman.
Young fans from everywhere, this is a tough day to wonder what you're going to say, but certainly I want to say to the people that organized this great parade, I thought about what I would say, and I said, well, you know, they had 42 years to plan it. I think they did a great job. That was the first thanks I wanted to say. I wanted to say to the team members, the players, the coaching staff, the administration, and everyone here, boy, this beats playing in Philadelphia tonight, Game 5. Thanks very much. And to all the fans of the Red Wings, this is your day in the sun. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Red Wing coach Scotty Bowman. You know, as the Red Wings made their way to the podium here, I'd like to introduce the next player, and I didn't recognize him because he didn't have a cigar in his mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner for your Detroit Red Wings, Mike Vernon.
Thank you. Well, I'll tell you, we had a lot of MVPs this year on this squad, and everybody contributed. And that's why we won the Lord Stanley. And to you, the fans, you guys are MVPs. This is your day. Enjoy it. Thank you, Detroit.
The Red Wings made some deals last summer, early this year, late this year. One of the guys that they thought they needed to get in here to help out, bring size to this team, a leader, a guy that's had his first time in the Stanley Cup final and has smiled ever since. Your number 14, Brendan Shanahan.
Thank you. All the players are really appreciative. Each day, it just seems that you surprise us once again. I don't know if we have the energy to keep this going all summer, but we're going to try. Thank you very much.
Number 14, the red and white uniform, Brendan Shanahan. As I said last night at the Joe Louis Arena, the big rally there aren't too many players in the National Hockey League that can skate down the ice and bring the people out of their seats like this man. Number 91 in your program, Sergei Fedorov.
Thank you. I just want to say one thing. I never dreamed in my entire life that would be possible to win a cup and have a day like that here at Detroit, Michigan. And I'd like to thank you all who made this possible. I'd like to thank all the people, all the fans who came again through for us and cheer us out there. It was great. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to ad-lib a little bit in this program. A guy that's been dear to your hearts for a long time as a Red Wing, and wearing, I won't give you his number yet, but he scored the biggest goal, the final goal, number 25, Darren McCarty.
All right, everybody having a good time? I know it's hot out there, but, you know, coming down Woodward Avenue, you can never dream to have such a response. And a lot of people have asked, you know, has it really set in that you won the Stanley Cup? You know, what does it feel like? Well, I think when you finally realize when you drive down Woodward Avenue today and see all the fans coming out of buildings, off of telephone poles, sitting anywhere they can to catch a glimpse, to get the reaction that we did, you know, it really, really gets you emotional, and it's such a great feeling. But the one thing you guys got to remember is that even though our names are going on that trophy, we couldn't have done it without you. And this is as much yours as it is ours. And as my good friend Joe Kosher said, in the wintertime this may be hockey town, but in the summertime this is party town. And this is a great way to kick it off, so have a great summer.
Thank you, Mac. Well, this guy, they've, in a couple of short years, has endeared himself to all of you and was feared by many people in the National Hockey League. They're making videos about him. Your number 16, the Vladinator, Vladimir Konstantinov.
Thank you guys a lot for everything, for big support. And this is your day. This is cup for you, for Detroit, for Michigan. Thank you.
These guys have been smiling ever since Saturday night at 11 o'clock, let me tell you. Well, there's guys that have different roles on different hockey teams. They buy into them, they do the job, they do it well, and no line did it better in their role than our grind line. Joe Koser, Kurt Malpe, and Chris Draper.
Just exactly like what Mickey said. He said everyone has a role, and on the line that I play with, Maltz hits, Joey intimidates, and I do a lot of talking, and that's why I'm up here right now. And I just like to, this is just an unbelievable day. I was coming home at, I can say this because we won, I was coming home at 6:30 this morning with our good friend Lauren Stanley, and I stopped over at the Spirit of Detroit, had some pictures taken, and there was people getting ready for the parade already. And it's just, it's unbelievable. This is great. You people deserve it, and I'm just glad that I'm a part of it, and so is everybody else. Thanks.
Well, it's been a great last few days. I just want to say thanks to all you guys. Thanks to my line mates, my teammates, and enjoy it while you can. It's a great day, and it's just beginning.
I think we all feel the same way. We, number one, we do have to thank you, the fans. I went through a few lean years here in the late 80s, and I don't think then we could ever expect to be where we are today. We really have to thank our families. These last 2 months have probably been some very hard times. A lot of grumpy hockey players coming home and maybe not wanting to talk, but they've stuck beside us. And thank the players, Kurt, Drapes. We had a lot of fun, and let's do it again next year. Thank you.
Well, you saw the guys a lot of the time that had the uniform on and got into games. There was a lot of guys that played during the season that did not get to play in the finals, but they were there, they were ready, prepared to go and go to war. And we're going to bring one guy up here to represent the bunch of them. The third goaltender on this hockey team who never got saw a lot, the ticker, Kevin Hodgson.
This is pretty unexpected here. I didn't think I'd be able to talk today because of the All-Stars behind me. But I got snubbed for my third Conn Smythe this year. A little upset about that. I just want to say one thing. I don't play very much, as you probably heard last night. And I love when the fans here start chanting, "Let's go Red Wings." So on the count of 3, as loud as we can, let's just start chanting for the guys that don't play. Because I was in the stands half the year. I had the great season tickets. I renewed my subscription for next year. I got lower bowl seats. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, let's go Red Wings! Let's go Red Wings! Let's go Red Wings! You guys are great.
Okay. This guy has come out of a small town in Ontario. He's been your captain for 14 years. No words needed. Number 19, Steve Hauserman.
Thank you. I think today you're just getting a chance to show the world what we've known here all year and what I've known my entire career, that Detroit Red Wings fans are the most loyal and the greatest hockey fans in the world. Thank you. All through the playoffs, particularly Saturday night after the game, the celebration around the city, within the building, around the entire city. Seeing the parade today literally it blows the players away. It takes their breath away. We expected a lot of people here. We didn't expect this. The whole world is watching, and everyone has shown incredible class, and you should be proud of yourselves, and I'm proud to be here in Detroit, proud to live in the city of Detroit. It's a spectacular day. I didn't think anything could top Saturday night, but I got to tell you, coming down Woodward Avenue was the best of all. It was the icing on the cake and a tremendous experience and a wonderful memory. We'll never forget it. I guess a tradition was started here by guys like Gordie Howe, Sid Abel, Terry Sawchuk, Alex Delvecchio, Ted Lindsay, a long time ago. They started an incredible tradition. They made this the home of the Stanley Cup. I'm glad, finally, 42 years later, we get the opportunity to bring the Stanley Cup home where it belongs. We'll keep it here. We'll enjoy it. Having a great summer. We've waited a long time. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much.
He's waited 14 years to hoist this baby. A lot of frustrations, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. And right now the captain will pass the cup to the great owners of the Detroit Red Wings and supporters of this city of Detroit, Mr. and Mrs. Mike and Marion Illich. And they put in a lot of time and hard work to get this far and enjoy every moment of the celebration of Lord Stanley coming home to Detroit after 42 years of being away on vacation. Mr. Illich, Mrs. Illich.
Take a look at that crowd. We got more fans in Detroit than they got in the whole NHL. Take a look at that. I want to thank the mayor. I want to thank his wife, Trudy. I want to thank our great council for making this parade possible and helping us be proud of our wonderful city. I look to my right, I think of Henry Ford building a Renaissance, and we're called a Renaissance City. Mayor Young and the council are working hard to help us become a world-class city. But as I look out there and our team, what they accomplished, and I see all the enthusiasm, all the love, and all coming together, I call ourselves Wonder City as far as I'm concerned. This is a Wonder City. Thank you very much for all your support.
What a celebration it is for him. He's a proud guy, I can tell you that. That thing's getting heavy after 4 days. Ladies and gentlemen, a proud man right now, the fine mayor of the city of Detroit.
They're just part of the team that made it all happen. I'd like for them to come up and to present gifts to all of these hard-working, outstanding Red Wing organizations. I'm calling upon the Detroit Police Department, the Michigan State Police, the Wayne County Sheriffs, and those federal agents, come on up and pass out the gifts. Thank you very much. Stevie, Scotty, Mickey.
Are we ready one more time for Kevin Hodgson's chant? On 3. Let's go, Red Wings. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Red Wings. 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 Let's go, Red Wings.
Come on, let's hear you in the buildings up there. Look at all of them. Come on, let's hear you. There you go.
We want to say thank you once again. From everybody in the Red Wing organization, you've been wonderful people. You've supported this hockey club for many, many years. We're glad that we could bring this thing home to you. The enjoyment and the feeling today was so darn personal. We're all one, and the Stanley Cup belongs to us all. Continue to enjoy the celebration of Lord Stanley. And once again, thank you, Detroit!
Well, the cup is home, Devin, Bernie, Bruce, and I think it's here to stay for a while. What do you think?
Well, that's something that I think that's an important point here. You know, we don't know if all these players are going to be back next year. We don't know if Scotty Bowman's going to be back next year. Enjoy this moment. It comes so rarely, only once a year in sports, and some teams have to wait for years, obviously 42 years here. Enjoy this moment in the sun.
But you had to love Scotty Bowman's remark about, you know, we've waited for 42 years. It took us 42 years to plan this. We got it right. You know?
I also love his remark. This beats a 5th game in Philadelphia tonight. I second
Go
that.
vouch for that.
Right, exactly.
And what a nice way for the security in this area, the combined effort of the police department, the state police, and the sheriff's department to present gifts to the hockey organization, the Detroit Red Wings.
You know, the thing about hockey guys, and Bruce knows this better than anyone, I'm sure, they...
Okay, Cheryl, we're going to get back to you because we got a signal problem with your audio, but it has been an incredible day, a long day for a lot of people under the hot sun. And, Jerry, I'm not complaining, okay? I want to make that clear at this point.
We're going to go to the guy who has the best seat in the house, bird's eye view, our captain, Dennis Newbacher. How are things looking, Captain?
Boy, would I have liked to have had you both
all day for the team and the cup to come through, and it just makes you feel good.
And Dennis answered the million-dollar question, which is just how many people were down here. And if Detroit police say between
Hard
$500 million and three-quarters.
I'll guess 50 million, all right?
Donnie said 50
It did seem that way. I'll bet to you it seemed like many more trying to get through the crowd on Woodward. We want to thank you for joining us for the celebration on the Cup. Our thanks to Robbie Timmons and Frank Turner for kicking it off for us. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to the crowd and to the two of you.
Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, everybody at home. We'll hope to see you 5 and 6.
Y'all ready for this?
Point shot, safe, rebound, shot, score! Larry Murphy! Brett Hall tries to get away from Maltby, coughed it up, saved by Pure, rebound, score! Kurt Maltby! Back pass to Konstantinov. Kozlov again, he shoots. Score! Score! The Red Wings have won it!
Yzerman did. Backhand shot again. A save. Yzerman tries to pound it home. They score! It's all over! It's all over!
19's on the ice now. The captain's moving, and it's Yzerman going to work. Yzerman shooting it. Wow! Look behind him. It's in. Steve Yzerman.
Really see how much Detroit is ready to pay the price. That's what I want to see.
Coaches are starting to go at it. Mark Crawford trying to get up there. The linesmen are standing up.
Who's he pointing at?
I think it's Scotty Bowman.
Kozlov, the puck. Kozlov. Center, goal! Back, score! Second and goal! 2-0 Detroit!
And here's Yzerman ripping the shot. He scores! Yzerman with a long shot that fooled Hextall.
The goal by Yzerman certainly was the reason for the decision. I feel very comfortable going with Garth Snow.
Backhand Detroit. Holtby. Good! That shot from a long distance.
Make a change based on gut feel sometimes. We're going back with Hexie, and he's going to play the duration.
Number 19, Steve Yzerman. Out of the box. And a break. Now he's in front. Scores! One point. Gets a second shot at it.
It's basically a choking situation that I call it for our team right now.